Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. I'm Christopher Disciple Al, and this is going to be some Challenger level solo queue, and today we are joined by none other than Wizfujiin, the AD carry for Team Coast. We also have a couple other names that we've seen on the stream before. In the jungle here for the blue team, Team Helix Fossil, will be Void Boss, the LoL Pro 1 vs 1 All-Star. We also have Ashe and Shin up in the top lane. And then what's going to be a fun mid-lane AP Teemo from GamerXZ. Over on the red team, which is SS Ticket, we have a couple big names as well. The largest of which is most likely Fabi in the bottom lane, going to be supported by ICanEU with BobkinXD jungling. And then Duosec in the mid lane with Desecraten up in the top on Tryndamere. And so, taking a look at some of these matchups, it looks like the bottom lane might be where a bit of our action is just because of the status of these AD carries. They both have kind of a bit to prove coming out here. They both have some early aggression as well. Or I suppose Fabi does. I, for some reason, was thinking that Wizfujiin was on Caitlyn, but that will be the Heartseeker Ashe on a lovely skin, but might have some issues early on if he gets in range of Fabi's auto attacks with the spinning axes. Really doing enormous damage there onto what will be Wizfujiin's very meager health bar. Oh, Descendants connects on the Wizfujiin, but Fabi isn't quite there to connect. He does get a single auto attack on the DKB net, but in the top lane, goodness, there was a bit more aggression than I was expecting. Let's just rewind just a little bit. Desecraten is so low, he has the ignite down on him. He's actually going to run right here on the Ashe and Shin. He goes in for the auto attacks. He throws over the ignite. He heals up and spins over and gets a very nice 1 vs 1 kill on the Ashe and Shin. I didn't expect him to come back in on that amount of health, but he really did an excellent job there. And now we could potentially see Void Boss coming up here for the counter gank, but he's not going to be able to get in there in time. He's instead just going to farm up this lane a little bit, get some experience for himself, and keep it out of the turret. Duosec and GamerXZ will most likely have a very calm middle lane with without too much going on, just farming up, looking to create as much map presence as they can, but not really being able to do too much to each other. Maybe they're going to be wrong. Oh, Desecrate up at the top against Void Boss. Does fall in the 1 vs 1, caught up quite a bit there by the aggression coming out from that Maokai jungle, which doesn't always feel like the strongest early game character, but really has a lot of damage on those abilities, which then translates later on into some really great teamfight utility. We haven't seen as much of Maokai, partly because of his sustain issues, but those are helped somewhat by the new jungle items, with the Spirit Stone returning 8% of your damage and health, 4% in mana, and those numbers being halved on AoE spells, most of which... Oh, DKB net comes in for the Death Zenith Blade. Look how low he's falling there to the bouncing axes. The ignite is down as well. Fabi goes in. He gets the last hit, but he will fall there under the turrets to Wizfujiin, who now looks to continue on. Nope, they're going to fall back just a little bit. That was not the Zenith Blade that DKB net wanted, and even though they did get a 1-for-1, when Draven is the one who gets the kill, then he comes out ahead pretty much always in the early game. Since although they did pretty much trade gold equally, he got the first blood gold and a nice 206 bonus from his passive. Just taking a look at the gold now, he has 1700, which is a solid 100 more than his opponent, even though Ashe was able to pick up that kill in return. And so this should be Draven getting strong pretty quickly here. We'll see how quickly he can get up to his Bloodthirster, which will really be his first major damage spike. Up in the top, Desecraten is playing on low health, but from what we saw before, he isn't afraid to come in and trade on the Ashe and Shin. That's how he got the first blood, and that, I think, is how he's going to look for his second kill up here. He's playing forward rather aggressively. The ignites aren't up yet, but Ashe and Shin is coming up dangerously close. Wizfujiin in the bottom lane, almost falling here to Fabi's auto attacks. DKB net now going to take the brunt of the damage, and that's not a good spot right here for Wizfujiin to be in. Void Boss throwing in a ward, will get caught out here by 3 enemies. Desecraten spins in, and with BobkinXD's body slam, they will find the kill there. 3-on-1, not the best odds for that tree, and he will give up another kill. A solid start here for actually SS Ticket, who not only grabbed that first blood up in the top. Oh, right. Of course, Draven didn't get the first blood gold out of that one because that first blood did go over to Desecrating in the top. It was only the gold from his passive. That was the bonus there. And it looks like, oh, wow, we saw a dive here just a few seconds ago that I wasn't quite expecting. Hashinshin on such low health. Upkin XT just waiting in the wings, and the barrel roll. Gonna almost pick it up for free, the flash body slam, clinching that. And after grabbing up 2 kills in the jungle, Bobkin XD will actually look really strong right here. 2-0 and 1. Going to take up 2 turret shots and be 1 away from dying. Hopefully not give up a kill to Void Boss here. Let's see if he can come in. He doesn't have his flash. He's going to throw the sapling, though. No, he gets the recall just barely in time. Now, taking a look down here, Fabi is just continuing to farm up to stack up that adoration for what is hopefully another kill soon. They want to be looking for whatever opportunity they can pick up onto Wizfujiin, and I wouldn't be surprised if Bobkin XD came down here soon with the extra gold from those last kills. He's picked up a crystalline flask on top of his spirit stone that he already had. And that's a unique pickup that I don't typically see in the jungle, but it will help him sustain up for when he can't quite get all of his health and mana back from his spirit stone. And Duosec, just like we talked about, is just casually farming up the middle lane, just like we expected it. Not too much hard lockdown from either of those champions. Teemo really having nothing at all under his belt, but it will just be a farm fest. Teemo is winning it though, being about 10 CS up, partly due to Lulu's earlier roam to help net that kill on the Void Boss. EKB net grabbed up here. The Descendants won't be in trouble of dying, but will take a good amount of damage to the face. Fabi, without that whirling death, can't quite go in for the 100-0 yet. But with Bobkin XD moving down here onto the turret, this might be their chance. There's no ward there, so they will be blind. Bobkin XD, the flash flake comes off my Kenny U. DKB net is so low, and Bobkin XD actually grabs the kill, the spree there, for his 3rd of the game. And it's rough to not get that kill onto Fabi, but as long as they're both shutting down this bottom lane and grabbing the kill and assist gold, it'll be an overall huge benefit for the team. Void Boss waits in the bush here to jump on the Bobkin, put a bit of damage onto him up in the top lane. Duosec roams up there to save Desecrating as he does pop his Endless Rage ultimate. Now Fabi coming in for the gank here. Bobkin XD taking up a lot of damage, and that's actually Void Boss throwing down the slice, or the Vengeful Maelstrom to try and just keep some of the damage off of Wizfujiin. Now with Teemo roaming down, this could be a rough spot. DKB net does get him there with this Zenith Blade. The Ignite is down on the Icon unit as well. The volley catches on from Wizfujiin, and just one more auto attack is needed. Gamer XZ is able to find that. Void Boss actually just running in for the suicide. Is that where we saw? I'm not exactly sure where he went down. Duosec is actually falling pretty low here. Isn't going to run into the mushroom quite yet. Gamer XZ might want to go for this, since Duosec, if he steps on one of those mushrooms, might be dead. But it will just be the minions blocking those up, helping out Duosec in his mid lane endeavors. Desecrating has been farming up quite the storm after taking these jungle. Will back up a bit and try to get closer to what's most likely a Static Shiv and what could be a number of items out of that Vampiric Scepter. I've seen Bladed Ruined King, I've seen Bloodthirster, and I've seen even a Ravenous Hydra. All of these items work to some extent on Trinity, but instead he grabs up the Berserker's Greaves. Just coming out with that attack speed helps him build up his Rage Bar faster, helps him get out some more crits. And in the end is just going to increase his damage by quite a bit, since every point in his Q does give him attack damage on top of the heal he gets whenever he activates it. Void Boss doing some counter jungling here of the red buff, actually going to be stealing this away from Bobkin XC, which is rather surprising. Hashinshin goes in pretty aggressively up here, and they might want to look for a dive on a Desecrating soon. I'm not sure. He does have his ultimate, but that's going to be Hashinshin and Desecrating trading back and forth. The Ignite goes down. Hashinshin's falling low, but Void Boss is there with the knockback. He's going to come in with the root. Desecrating falls so low. Void Boss, oh, Desecrating's able to spin over the wall, turn around on the Void Boss, who has to flash away, and that is a successful 1 versus 2 from the Tryndamere sapling. Comes across, but it won't find that second proc onto him, and it looks like this angry man will be able to rage away from this one. Fabi and iKenny, you not going to get this gank off as Bobkin XC comes up from behind them because of the well-placed ward there by DKBnet and Wizfujiin spot lane. They have been playing pretty safe, and that's actually Wizfujiin just 1-0 and 1 with a decent amount of farm. Fabi still has more about a 20 advantage, but it's still not too much to come back from. Oh, the explosive cast comes on the DKBnet, and he will most certainly fall here. No, the Solar Fire keeps him alive just for long enough to get taken out by the Whirling Death. And now Wizfujiin has to be careful. He throws across the ultimate, and Void Boss comes in from the side. Wizfujiin is still alive. He throws the barrier, but finally falls to ICanEU. But that's going to be 2 kills. In return, a double for Void Boss. Now, if he looks to go onto Bobkin XC, this could be a rough fight. He is going to dash so far, gets the knockback, and he has Teemo coming in from behind. Bobkin XC looks to be in a pretty bad spot. He has the body slam coming up soon. Void Boss cuts him off, and that's Gamer XC with his second kill of the match, who's just been playing this slowly and consistently, but picking up kills when he can get them without too much of a risk. Duosec in the mid lane has overtaken him in farm, but after losing a couple of kills to him, we'll leave them pretty much even, actually just a couple of 100 gold behind that Teemo. Ashe coming across here for the proxying, realizes he can actually 1 versus 1 Desecrating pretty well. He has to be careful, of course, that Desecrating doesn't get off too many crits. But so far, he's been doing a decent job despite the earlier 2 versus 1. Where he really just overextended because he thought he would have the gank. Void Boss falling low here to Fabi, but he's going to be able to escape off the side here. Fabi retreating on the wings as well, and it looks like Bobkin XC might be the decider here. The explosive cast forcing Wizfujiin back, but ICanEU not following up on there as Gamer XZ does help batten down the hatches. Oh, the Solar Flare landing on the Bobkin XZ brings him so low. The Ignite is down, the poison damage as well, but that Lantern's going to be able to allow him to survive. Just in time for Teemo to flash in to get the nice blinding dart. Now Duosec coming in from behind, going to put himself in a rough spot. The sun comes across from the enchanted crystal arrow. Now ICanEU taking massive poison damage. Is he going to take down enough? And it doesn't look like so. Whirling Death comes across and does pick up Wizfujiin. Another kill coming over to Duosec, who will then chase on Force Gamer XZ back. He won't be able to find that kill, but what looks like a 2 for 2 overall, might have even been a 2 for 1 here. Fabi grabbing up his 3rd kill of the game, and with that League of Draven passive, will become a very rich man. If we take a look at where that's getting, 698 total. The biggest reward so far has been 424. That is more than double a kill. That is the biggest bounty you can have, essentially, since even a legendary target only gives up 500 gold. Desecrating continuing to roam around the map has accomplished the highest CS in the game, which is really going to be powerful coming into this mid and late game when Tryndamere really shines, since he will be getting up some massive damage now. He's trading on here to Ashe. It's actually getting rather aggressive. The Ignites are back and forth. Desecrating has popped the Undying Rage, but he has to spin out of there, and he is so low. Let's see if Ashe can get in there. He's not going to feel quite so confident. He flashes in for the auto attack. Desecrating does heal up, though, and now they're trading back and forth. The spinning slash comes across, and Ashe has to back up here. He auto attacks for the lifesteal back. Desecrating really wants to spin in there for the auto attack. He has his heal back up. And that is going to be the troll running away. The flash almost got him, but wasn't enough to catch out that Tryndamere. And now it looks like we have from Team Helix Fossil the Dragon attempt. ICanEU not able to stop that. The Mushrooms really keeping Bobkin XD in the back. And with the Zenith Blade out on the ICanEU, they will engage us up. Solar Flare lands onto Fabi. ICanEU taking the front lines with the Wild Growth, actually really forcing the rest of Helix Fossil back, and it looks like SS Ticket might have successfully stopped the Dragon. We'll see if they want to attempt it themselves. I really don't think that would be the smartest idea. In the top lane, Desecrate and Ashe trading back and forth, but it will go over to the Barbarians' favor. DKBnet doesn't want to give this up, and neither does Wizfujiin, as I press the wrong button and jump across the stream. Void Boss flashes in, he gets the smite. He's able to get a successful steal across there. Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes through as well, but it doesn't save Void Boss, and it looks like Helix Fossil will have to back off of this one. After grabbing up the successful Dragon, though, Fabi falling low here will come in with the Whirling Death. Wizfujiin is falling so low, but the Barrel Roll is going to be able to find him. Duosec now flashing over the wall. We'll be able to assure they get the final kill, even if he didn't get an assist for that one. And there was a really good pickup from SS Ticket after losing the dragon to be able to grab at least a few kills for themselves. And with that, it will actually leave the gold in about a 5,000 differential in their advantage. Desecrate now stealing with his blue buff will be able to spin for the win away. And right now, SS Ticket is just looking heavily in the lead. They have a really strong jungle Gragas who's becoming the secondary AP carry here, with the Spirit of the Spectral Wraith that will eventually scale up to 80 ability power, which is just massive on that item. That, along with Duos Ex Athens and Holy Grail, is going to be some consistent magic damage coming out here, backed up by the insane attack damage from Desecraten's Trin and Fabi's Draven. The Bloodthirster has come out from the Draven, as well as Static Shiv from Desecraten. The BF Sword tells us that Desecraten will... Actually, the BF Sword and the Cloak of Agility will tell us he's going for the Infinity Edge next. Going to come for some massive crits before he opts for things like more lifesteal. It will come eventually, but right now, since he has a solid amount of time spent where he just can't die, he might as well spend that dealing as much damage as he possibly can. In the bot lane, the fight might be breaking out here. DKB Net grabs the stun with the Shield of Daybreak. The Zenith Blade comes across as well, but the Enchanted Crystal Arrow really doing work on Fabi's health bar. Void Boss grabs the last hit there. Now ICannyU might be the next target of this attack. He is falling low here, tries to flash away. Wizfujiin actually flashes in. He has auto attacks, and DKB Net locking him down will create the double kill for Void Boss. A 5-3-2 Maokai coming up pretty huge right now. This bottom turret is now under siege. Bobkin XD is there, but I don't know he's strong enough to keep it alive for now. He has pretty good wave clear, but will it be good enough? Duosec actually able to finally trade off in the 1v1 against Teemo, which is something that I didn't necessarily foresee happening. Desecrating going in the Hashinshin once again, who doesn't have the invulnerability ultimate, and will fall there to the massive auto attacks coming out from Desecrating here. Wizfujiin was finally able to grab up that turret in the bottom, and it will help return a bit of the gold, but still about 5,000 between the two teams, and it doesn't look like this rampage coming out, especially in the top lane from SS Ticket, is likely to stop anytime soon. If you guys are curious about the team names, I realize I didn't necessarily explain that earlier. There's a Twitch stream called Twitch Plays Pokemon, where they made a Pokemon emulator. I think they're just playing Red, and people will type commands in the chat. They can type up, down, left, right, A, B, and they will direct the game. And so they're trying to work their way through the dungeons, through the bosses, leveling up their Pokemon, that sort of stuff, and it's ridiculous just because no one can communicate with each other. They're just all putting in random codes. Whirling Death comes across, finds a kill on the gamer XZ. Not too much to comment on besides the fact that hooray, hooray, the Teemo is dead. Let's all celebrate as we step on his head. Poor Bunny. A shutdown in the top lane, though. Hashinshin finally able to grab this out. I was more interested in this inner turret, though, falling, and it looks like this push might end up onto an inhibitor turret. DKB Net throws in the Solar Flare, and that's massive damage. And Chandra Kustra as well, and the Wombo combo of CC will lock up Duosec finally, enough time to take him out. Fabi going to be their next target. He tries to turn around the Wizfujiin, but he doesn't quite have the damage. The barrier as well going to help keep him alive, and that's 2 kills picked up here. Off the end of it, 3 if you count that top lane 1v1. And SS Ticket forced back for now, going to allow a bit of breathing room here for Helix Fossil. All hail the great and wise Helix Fossil, as they do make a... No, they don't make the Baron call. They didn't quite want to go for the B word here. So much vision in that brush, though. Can you see it? Because Helix Fossil can. Wizfujiin and Void Boss pegging away at this. That tree is whacking back and forth, but it looks like Bobkin caught up here might be actually not in too much danger. Descendant's catching on the Void Boss, bringing him in a little too close for comfort. DKB Net forced to flash over the wall after the massive magic damage found him coming out from Duosec. He will be on his retreat. Duosec wants to get it there. He has a Sheen proc as well, and with the Glitter Lance, we'll be able to find the kill. A nice play there from the mid lane. Lulu really able to lock down and control the enemy team, and that will be the B word here. Baron coming out from SS Ticket. Helix Fossil doesn't want to give that up, but with their support down, I'm not sure they have too much of an option. There's no Solar Flare to lock up the enemy team. That's actually Desecrating just rolling out one auto attack on Gamer XZ. Almost halved him. He will have to flash away from this one, but it might not be enough. Whirling Death almost catches him out. Fabi flashes in for the final auto attack. Meanwhile, Hoshinchin, stuck in the futile 1 versus 2, is able to do a lot of damage to Desecrating, but will eventually actually escape off the end here. Duosec really wants him, but he is just not having luck. Let's see what we can do. Oh, Desecrating stunned here under the turret. Still does have his ultimate, and Hoshinchin looks to get away. Solar Flare catches him, but a bit too late. Duosec now turning around, and DKBnet not too long for this world. The rest of his team, SS Ticket, will be in the middle lane, taking out that inhibitor turret. Now moving on to the inhibitor. 4 members here proving to be a little bit too strong for what is just a stone structure without much significance besides magic. Bobkin XD tries to come away, but he didn't click the lantern. You fool. And Fabi will be taken out in response. IKennyU. I can't believe you can do it. Ah, Void Boss actually falling low here. The box comes out from Thresh. He has to walk through there. There's the huge slow, and Void Boss is so low, he'll most certainly fall here. No, the Unite is down. Void Boss is still alive. He finally falls there to the damage from IKennyU. Duosec as well, grabbing out the kills onto Wizfujiin and Void Boss. Gamer XZ finally going to respawn. That's 2 members kiting this out. They now have Desecrating coming in from behind. DKBnet really wants this 1 versus 1, but that Lulu's not a support. Desecrating is able to find the kill on the Hoshinchin. Some sweet, sweet retribution, and 4 kills here coming out of SS Ticket. After the overextension, will it be 5? It looks like Gamer XZ won't be too long for this world. He threw down a solid blind, but it just wasn't enough to keep him alive through that onslaught of Tryndamere damage. And so if you're looking for stream placement, just remember to place them I know, a good 400 or 500 units apart. Just make sure that people can't run through too freely, so that you can tick someone like Desecrating down before he even gets to you. Because if he just takes damage from 1 or 2 of those rooms, then he'll just be able to wait out your blinding dart and then finish you off pretty easily. Try. Okay, 13,000 gold here for SS Ticket, and it looks like Helix Fossil might be in a bit of a bind. And without too many binds here other than from Maokai. I don't know if they can get out of it. Oh, Desecrating does pop that ultimate. Hoshinchin wants to get in there to finish him off, but looks like it might not be his day. He does have Void Boss coming in from behind. Hoshinchin, not one to give up on a chase, will finally give up on a chase. Maybe his entire existence was a lie. IKennyU just zoning out here as Duosec does his best. Desecrating in the top lane. What are you doing, man? You are on fire. Somebody put him out. There's no Nami in this game, though. And it looks like SS Ticket will take out that bottom inner turret. That's every outer turret as well as the mid inhibitor down. And it looks like SS Ticket is dismantling this entire base. There's no defense here from Wizfujiin and the rest of the gang. What's your Helix Fossil telling you now? Because I'm not sure it is a good replacement god for sound strategy. IKennyU missing a death sentence, just using it for the message, not necessarily for the actual ability itself. A solid Solar Flare lands, but the explosive cast for the disengage is actually going to force the majority of Helix Fossil back. Enchanted Crystal Arrow catches dead onto IKennyU, who stays alive through all of this wild growth, giving him a solid amount of health, and he will turn around with the Death Sentence on the Void Boss, shutting him down. This might be, that's the second inhibitor. This could be some Nexus turrets as well, depending on whether or not they can survive this onslaught from Wizfujiin. He has to slow down on every auto attack. He's out of mana now, though, and Duosec will be able to speed out of that one. They do lose one. IKennyU maybe stick around a little bit longer than he should. Bobkin XD going down to the volley, and it looks like it shouldn't be too much of a throw here from the team. Duosec just trying to keep Fabi alive here, going to give him the speed buff, the shield, but will it be enough? And I don't believe so. Wizfujiin doing massive damage here in the base. He has a Trinity Force on his Ashe, as well as the Bloodthirster, which is a build that I haven't necessarily seen before. Everything else in the game feels pretty standard, but it's that Trinity Force on Ashe that I just can't say I've seen before. Oh, DK BNet might fall before the fight even starts. That's Duosec dominating. Desecrating coming in from behind as well. Duosec popping the Wild Growth onto himself will keep him alive for long enough to set up a massive kill for Desecrating. The double is down, and it looks like the triple will soon follow. That's Desecrating with 3 kills, a 13, 2, and 5 Trin. Will result in a surrender vote coming out here from Team Helix Fossil. Congratulations to SS Ticket, a well-deserved win. 37 and 18 with a 17,000 gold advantage. Remember, if you guys have any feedback for me, remember to leave it in the comments and to tune into the stream every day where I will be casting live as well as playing other games and the like. You guys make me want to do this. You guys make it possible, and I'd love to see you again soon.